Now we will turn it over to Lance.
Um, Hello, everyone. I will start with something I've done in every email that I've sent to Tom. Tom, thank you so much for this opportunity. It's flattering. I'd like to talk briefly about theory, which is why I think I'm going last, because every time I use that word in public, uh, Dr. Rhodes and Dr. Wolf just well up because they're bored to tears, and I don't like to see them crying in public. There have been various attempts to frame our profession theoretically. All of these you're probably familiar with. We could go back to Jim Citron, Lily Engel, Tony Ogden. But those theoretical approaches, I think, suffer from a criticism that we could apply to all of the social sciences, which is that they are wed to Newtonian metaphors, that everything, well, to use the term that was just used just a couple seconds ago, that everything is linear, that everything is about cause and effect, that everything is either or. Tom very appropriately started this conversation with the use of the term mythologies. The cultural critic Roland Barthes, in his seminal work Mythologies, said that there are spaces where we perhaps need to not be thinking about either or. We should be thinking about either and. And I think getting away from those Newtonian metaphors allows us to embrace that. Namely, if we start to look at quantum theory, we can get away from either or and start looking at things like either and, that maybe the entire study abroad experience is either and, that maybe we should not be thinking about the experiences as home versus away, or an immersion program versus an island program, or before study abroad and after study abroad. That if we think about terms like entanglement or even the dreaded Schrodinger's cat, that we should be addressing all of these things simultaneously. And I think quantum theory gives us the ability to do that. I think in many ways, quantum theory is the better metaphor for approaching what it is we're trying to accomplish as a profession, whether it's study abroad specifically or international education generally. The space that I do not go into in my humble chapter, in terms of all things quantum, is of course, and this is, I think, a space I'd like to see opened up, the implication of quantum technologies. I'm sure everyone here does not want to have one more conversation about the impact of AI on higher education. I would assume we are all bored to death with that as well. But if we think of the ways that technologies have impacted our profession, the fax machine was going to be the end of study abroad, email was going to be the end of study abroad, social media. I think we need to more critically engage with quantum technologies to look at their impact, and having a better handle on what we mean when we use the word quantum means that we need to perhaps approach those issues proactively instead of retroactively. I will stop there.